Let me know when you're live.
As we welcome you in here to a huge doubleheader between the Blazers and Kings. We are sorry for the difficulties getting on air, but we are finally back on the air down our right field line. New stationary press box for now. Aaron Arnstein alongside Jason O'Connell. We are in the bottom half of the first inning. The Blazers up 2-0 over the Kings. And just as the Blazers have done all year, they've hit home runs, they've scored runs, and Kovalchik had a 2-run shot in the top half of the first. Owen Petrich, who we'll talk a lot more about in this one, got on with a single, a 2-out single, and then Kovalchik drove him in with a 2-run shot to center. Andrew Gaines on the mound for the Kings, and on the mound for the Blazers, Ben Christian. Just recapping this bottom half of the first, Chris Baker single, then stole second, and Lesh walked. Leva struck out. 2 outs, 2 on, and a 2-2. Low and outside, Anthony Swenda at the plate. Swenda, one of the Kings All-Stars. He's 6th in the league in walks. .345 on the season, leads the team with 4 homers, 19 RBIs. And the 3-2 from Christian. Swung on and missed. Christian gets out of the jam, and after one, the Blazers lead 2-0 over the Kings. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation. This top half of the second inning brought to you by Team Toyota. Team Toyota of Langhorne and Princeton have kept us on the road for decades with impeccable sales and customer service. Call 609-745-6394 in Princeton or 215-791-8831 in Langhorne for more. ACBL Baseball brought to you by Team Toyota. Be a part of the team. As we welcome you back here to this top half of the second inning. The Blazers on top, 2-0. Aaron Arnstein alongside my partner Jason O'Connell. Lucas Floyd will lead things off for the Blazers. Andrew Gaines on the mound for the Kings. Floyd on the season hitting .259 in 19 games. The pitch from Gaines. Right down the middle for strike one. Floyd has 1 homer, 12 RBIs on the season. Pitch outside, the count now 1-1. So as we mentioned on the top of the broadcast, 2 heavyweights going at it. The Kings' 12-game win streak was snapped in Game 2 of a wild doubleheader here at Union Field against the Trenton Generals, and the Blazers with a 10-game win streak to the top the Wolf Division standings at 24-5. Right now, the Kings only 4 points out of that second place spot in the division, which would give them a first-round bye. And if the Blazers can win 1 of 2 today, that will clinch a top 2 bye for them. The pitch ball is grounded to the pitcher Gaines, underhands to first base for 1 out. RJ Huth at the plate. Huth hitting .224 on the season. No homers, 8 RBI. In the outfield, the fielding arrangement for the Kings from left to right in the outfield, the Clusian, Taylor, and Baker. And from left to right in the infield, Pokrovsky, Conklin, Swenda, and Oliva over at first. Behind plate is DiMucci. On the mound is Andrew Gaines. First pitch in there for ball one. Booth attends Chestnut Hill College. Will be a junior in the fall. Takes it outside and the count 2-0. Coming off a nice night against the Pilots, 2 for 3 with a run. A 10-6 victory. And that was a big win for the Blazers, who had to put up a 6 spot in the 7th inning in order to defeat Jersey. And starter Cole Hertzler had an uncharacteristic outing. He allowed 4 walks, 3 runs, which were all unearned. But the big story of the day was the sure fielding of the Blazers, who lead the entire division in fielding percentage, made 4 errors. And that led to numerous runs for the Pilots, but Kings overall, or excuse me, the Blazers with a 6-run top half of the 7th to defeat the Pilots 10-6. And in that game, Owen Petrich hit his franchise record ninth homer of the season, which is a wood bat record for this Blazers club. And the pitch, other part of the plate, count now 0-1. How did the guy get off? Did you see that? Walk. Oh, Huth walked, and Andrew Knoll now at the plate. Knoll takes low and outside to count 1-1. The third time these two teams have met this season. Last met on June 14th in Quakertown for a doubleheader. Kings won Game 1 in extras 5-4, but they lost Game 2 8-6, with all 14 runs coming in the 4th through 7th innings. As Huth takes down for second, he slides in, is tagged out by second baseman Swenda, so caught stealing by DiMucci is the catcher, is the left fielder R.J. Huth. 2 down here in the top half of the second. No still at the plate. The count now 2-1, 2 outs. If you're just joining us, Zach Kowalczyk continued his hot season with a 2-run homer in the top half of the first. That one was fouled off down the third base side, and the count 2-2. Deuces wild here at Union Field. Doubleheader started at 5:30 tonight. Game 2 will start at approximately 30 minutes after Game 1. Winners on top and in most categories. They're top 2 in homers, running hit, right now. We're gonna figure out that firing the ACBL. I think it's all the goalie and the 5, 4, don't want to walk. And we're gonna put this lead. Yeah, going back to the Blazers issue, there was definitely he does. You can just think about it in the top 3 pitchers nowadays or in the top 7, you got to do them. So you're looking to get on a team, you're gonna take your chance right there and then not be able to do all work on it. You're not gonna give you a lot of runs. So you're really gonna take chances. Have a pitch, you get the Woodies. I can't hold it out. Obviously, the happens. You're wrong. Well, when I believe this, that happened with your right out of season, they never read that week. The ACBL has arguably devastating that on the advantage. It's the entire league. The upper tides and other to the entire the Christian in the ACBL starting fight. Winning, foul, left side, count. Now, they read through the ball and 1-3-3 of the ACBL. But Game 1, Christian gets the start. Gaines on the mound for the Kings, the 2-1. Fouled back, the count 2-2. Boyd grounded to the pitcher. Huth walked and was caught stealing by DiMucci, followed by a Andrew Noel walk. That brings 9-hitter Zestawicki to the plate with a 2-2 count. Gaines is 2-2. Fouled back in a nice battle here between Zestawicki, who has struggled on the season, hitting under 220, looking for his 9th RBI of the season, no home runs.
Yeah, and a little regression from Zestawicki from his college season at Westchester. He was hitting 259 average there, and that dropped about .04 coming into his ACBL season. So look to finish strong at the end of this season, try to get the average up.
And the 2-2 from Gaines is outside. Count 3-2. Jason, this is a big hitter if you're Gaines that you want to either ground out, strike out, just hit into and out because you do not want to face this top of the Blazers order with Sabater on deck. The 3-2 was low and outside, skips under the glove of DiMucci. Heading over the second is Nolan. Zestawicki works a walk, so runners on first and second. And this hot Blazers offense continues to roll 2 runs in the first. Now they have 2 men on with 2 outs in the top of the second, and Sabater will come to the plate after grounding out to the first baseman in his first at bat.
Yeah, like you said, Aaron, this is not a great situation for Gaines to be in as this top of the order. He's probably one of the top 4 or 5 hitters in the league combined. When you look at total all teams top of the order, so very dangerous squad right here. You don't want to get a lot of runners on bases for them because they will most likely drive them in.
Now Jeff Sabater at the plate recently joined this Blazers team, played his first game for the club on July 7th, hitting 278 in limited time. He's had 18 at-bats over 4 games. Gaines tries to work out of the jam. Pitch is outside, 1-0. And Jason, as we know, that's been the problem for the Kings this year is the pitching, not necessarily their stat wise, but the lack thereof of having enough pitchers for each game. Fortunately, they have not had to forfeit any games for not having enough pitchers, but they've come close a few games. You saw that against the Trenton Generals, game 2. Big reason why they lost. They went to extra innings after blowing a 3-run lead in the bottom half of the 7th, as they were the road team for game 2 here at Union Field on Thursday. Now the pitch inside to count 2-0, but they had to put a position player on the mound, Stevie Thomas, who does pitch a little bit, but was wild. He allowed a run in the the bottom half of the 8th, as the Gens walked it off here at Union Field. That game was scheduled to be played a week from Monday at Trenton, as that one skips past the glove of DiMucci. Moving up to third is Noel, and moving the second Zestawicki, but they decided to reschedule that into a double header on Thursday night.
Yeah, like you said, just the lack of arms for these Kings pitching staff is not a great sign, and especially when you're going up a great staff like the Blazers. And with the Kings, we're seeing new guys pretty much every week on this coming out of this bullpen are starting game. So it's not like these guys can really get into a good groove on the mound because some of these guys are making their first appearances and we're almost at the end of the season. So it's not a great side for the staff in general. And come playoff time, the hitting's really going to have to step up, and they're already doing very well.
Yeah, the hitting certainly has not been the problem. This team has averaged over 8 runs and during their recent 12-game win streak. And talk about Gaines, the right-hander from Marlton, New Jersey. He's had a nice season. He's only made 2 starts for the Kings, but he's 2-0 with a 1.12 ERA. Last saw him at Trenton. He went 4 innings, gave up 1 run, none earned, and had 5 strikeouts over 4 strong. So he's been effective this year in his limited time with the Kings. So that one skips away past DiMucci. Now breaking for home is Noel. He scores. Everyone moves up a base as Zestawicki heads to third and Sabater to second. And the Quakertown Blazers lead 3-0 here in the top of the second.
Like we said, loading the bases is what you can't do against this Quakertown Blazers team because they will take advantage. And what you really can't do is give up free runs like just there with a wild pitch because they will continue to light up that scoreboard if you give them the chance.
Riley Davis now at the plate. Davis on the year hitting .276, 2 homers, 17 RBIs. This is 25 runs, second on this team, is 6th in the ACBL. On deck, the powerful Owen Petrich. 2-1 count, 2 outs. Runners on second and third for the Blazers, and the pitch lines right into the glove of a jumping Swenda, makes the catch, saves a run, maybe two. But the Blazers score one more. They lead 3-0 as we get to the bottom half of the second between the two heavyweights of the Wolf Division. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation.
Two.
We welcome you back to this bottom half of the second inning as the Kings trail 3-0 as we begin the bottom half. Roher and Vale Real Estate, a proud sponsor of Kings Baseball, your South Jersey source for real estate. RoherVale.com or call Chapman Vale at 856-571-5536. Again, 856-571-5336. Christian back on the mound for a second inning of action. Nucci at the plate. Ball one.
There, looking back at that last inning where one run scored because of a wild pitch, but it very well could have been another one if Joe DiMucci didn't throw out Huth, who was going up to second. So we could be in a 4-0 ball game. It would be even bigger hole for the Kings, but a great job on that throw down to second from DiMucci.
And that was a nice play by the second baseman, Swenda. He was not able to get up, snag that ball out of the air. That definitely could have scored at least 1-2 runs, and of course, DiMucci. Now, it is interesting to note Matt Shepard, who, the 0-2, swung on and missed, and Clutian strikes out for out number one. It's interesting to note Matt Shepard, who was 12 for his last 13. He leads his team with a .536 average, is not in the starting lineup game one. He is here. Did not get to talk to him about that before the game. I just assumed he was in the starting lineup, but we have DiMucci behind the plate. So we'll see if Shepard is in for game two, but he's a key part of this offense, especially as of late. Conklin at the plate takes strike one.
Yeah, it's hard with catches trying to get them in both games for a doubleheader, especially when the Kings like that double or that designated hitter first baseman pair of Oliva and Lesh. They really like to stick with those two guys in those two positions, so you can't really squeak Shepard in there with that decision. So I'm sure we'll see him in the second game, and sure he'll stay high there.
So Chase Conklin at the plate, and the 0-2 swung on and missed by Christian for out number two.
That's 4 strikeouts in a row for Christian. Really feeling himself on the mound right now.
And he's coming off a nice game against Trenton. He earned the win, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. On the year, a 2.66 ERA and 5 starts, 27 innings pitched. Again, among the league leaders in through the pitching categories. That one's popped up on the infield. Petrich calls for it. Now coming in, makes the catch. He had to drift to his left for that one, but he does make the catch, and that ends the bottom half of the second inning. The Kings go down 1-2-3 in order. I'll hand over the play-by-play duties to my partner Jason O'Connell for the third, fourth, and fifth innings. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation.
Welcome back here to some ACBL baseball between the Quakertown Blazers and the South Jersey Kings. Blazers are up 3-0 here going to the top of the third. I'm here with my partner Aaron Archie, and I'm Jason O'Connell. Nansac Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is a proud sponsor of Kings Baseball. Located on Market Street in Gloucester City, Anzac Plumbing has been a trusted name in the industry for 90 years. Call Anzac Plumbing for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs at 856-475-6832. Pretty dominant inning by Christian on the mound, going 1-2-3, adding to his strikeout total, which is now at 4, throwing 2 in that last half inning. And let's see if the Kings or the Blazers can tack onto this tally after a very solid second inning where they scored a run on a wild pitch. In the bat now is number 21, Owen Petrich, a third baseman.
Jason Owen is arguably the best offensive player in the entire ACBL this season. Right now, he has a 15-game hit streak. He's gotten hit in 21 of his last 22, and he has a 29-game on-base streak, which he extended, to 30 in his first at-bat with a single.
It was no question coming to the All-Star game selection that he would make the cut, and he was probably the number one option there. No one has really tested him and the hitting categories. He leads pretty much all of them, or is up there in the top 5 in all of them.
And you look at the sort of records that he's chasing with this Blazers franchise. He's already surpassed Chad Lightcap for, as I mentioned before, 9 home runs, the most with the wooden bat with the Blazers. But the franchise record aluminum bat is the Yankees' Pat Kelly, who had 11.
That shot is hit deep into center field. That's going to be a home run from Owen Petrich, putting the score to 4-0. Officially reached double digits on a season in the home run category, still leading the league. And just as we were mentioning, one of the best hitters in leagues does exactly what you expect the best hitters to do, hit home runs, making the score 4-0.
Now he's just 1 away from tying Kelly's record, which was set in '87, over 30 years ago.
Second home run given up by Gaines. Up to bat now. Zach Kovacic could just give up the last one, but he pops up to Chase Conklin and makes the play for the first out. Bat now Cole Hertzler, who had himself an All-Star appearance this past Wednesday.
And if Petrich wasn't on this club, he would be their best player. He's top 10 in the ACBL in hits and RBIs, and second on this team in homers. He's a two-way star, a mini Otani. He's had a great season without the plate and on the mound.
Like you said, that 304 average as he swings and misses there. Count now 0-2. A 304 average, and not a lot of appearances pitching, but 7.2 innings, only one earned run given up. As you said, great on both sides of the field. The ball is upstairs. Counts now 1-2.
When you look in this lineup, especially the middle of the order and the top of the order, there's no easy outs, and say the same for the Kings as well. We've said all season long. That one's in there
Kessler
for strike two. But
reaches
Jason,
out of the zone.
what do you think the key is? Excuse me, that was a strikeout. Thank you. What do you think the key is for these Kings pitchers to try to keep the Blazers offense at bay, which they've already struggled to do, giving up 4 runs?
You gotta, I feel, keep the ball low and away. That's one of the best ways to keep keep away from hard contact on these hits, which you're obviously seeing the Blazers are able to make. So definitely low and away, work that outer edge of the plate with some off speed, and just avoid hanging pitches over the plate. Because that first pitch was a strike, swing into Floyd. So ball catches the edge of his own. Cal's now 0-2. After that home run by Petrich, Gaines is out. Nope, not out of this inning as he did not go on the check swing. I was saying he's almost out of this inning after 2 quick outs after the home run. Cal is now 1-2 after that ball. PSU Harrisburg outfielder steps back to the plate for the count. Inside, Cal is now 2-2.
Jason Floyd coming off a nice year at Alvernia College at 328, 28 games.
Misses again after going up 0-2. Gains it now at 3-2 in the count. At risk of losing batter. Here's the payoff pitch. He lines that into Chase Conklin's glove, makes an amazing grab, and is unable to make the throw as the pulls Oliva off the bag. But a great job stopping that and good effort there by Chuck Conklin. That's Floyd's first base hit of the day after grounding out in the second inning. The bat now is RJ Huth, the left fielder for the Blazers. He walked in his first at bat in the second inning. Pitch from Gaines. All speed pitch, he catches his zone. Cal is now 0-1. Gaines gets ready for the 0-1. This Floyd is off. Throw it down from DiMucci. It's not in time. Floyd sneaks in there for a stolen base. Runner on second now. 2 outs here. Another opportunity for the Blazers to drive in a run with a runner scoring position. 1-1 pitch. Up. Great grab there by DiMucci, preventing that going to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike now. To Huth.
And Huth has knack to get on base. He averaged nearly 1 walk per game at Chestnut Hill College this spring.
Throw down for DiMucci as Floyd was getting a little too far off the bag, but is back in there safe. Cal's now 3-1 as that pitch was a ball.
And I like the approach Jason by the Blazers, stealing on DiMucci, because we've seen that all season long. We've not seen too many catchers who have been able to consistently throw out runners, and the Blazers have been running wild today, a few stolen bases, and it's been paying off for them.
So the ball misses the top of the zone. So runners are now in first and second after that walk. Moving back now, Andrew Knoll, the catcher, also walked in his previous at bat this game. Steps into the lefty's batter's box. A great season so far for Knoll with a 167 average in his 42 at bats.
That's already 5 walks for gains. We're only in the third inning. Not a good start to this afternoon.
Ball's in the dirt. Demucci blocks it. No runners advanced despite hard bounce that got away from Demucci. That's right. Stay on first and second count. Count's now 1-0. The worst walk there from Gaines, but you never want to walk a batter, but does allow force at any base besides home. Misses edge of the zone. Counts now 2-0. Knoll.
Knoll, a Lehigh product, was a former Patriot League Player of the Week his freshman season.
Pitch. All speed pitch that catches. Count's now 2-1. This righty lefty matchup.
Jason Gaines has to stop the bleeding. He's struck out 3 batters today, so whether it's via the strikeout or a fly out or a ground out, he's got to get out of this inning.
Ball misses another 3-1 count from Gaines. Another opportunity for the Blazers to find a pitch that they like. Three-one pitch. All speed pitch misses. That's the second walk in a row from Gaines. It is 6 on the day. The bat now the 9-hole hitter Sean Zestawicki approaching the plate with bases loaded.
This could be a big confidence booster for Zestawicki. And only hitting 212 on the season. If he could get a big knock right here and really break things open in game 1, that could go a long way towards boosting his confidence.
And if there's a way to get out of the slump, this is how you do it. Bring in multiple runs on a game early at that lead. Pitch from Gaines. Over the head. Zestawicki count is now 1-0. Gaines continues to struggle. Find a strike zone. No now. In the dirt. Demucci blocks it. No runners will advance. Count is at 2-0.
Gaines has to be careful. We saw him throw a wild pitch that scored a run in the second inning. Has to make sure it's in the range of the catcher DiMucci. Not want one squirting behind him and allowing another run to score.
Pitch from Gaines. Also pitch that misses. If Demucci throws down, he gets past Oliva. That's going to score a run. And 2 runs are going to advance to second, third. It's going to be another run as Huth comes around the home. And Knoll makes it all the way to third. Not what you want to see on that throwdown from Demucci, scoring 2 runs, advancing a run to third base. So that will go down as a E1 or E2. I'm sorry.
This is just sloppy baseball by the Kings. You do not deserve to win a game if allow 2 runs to score in an E2, 6 walks. Just sloppy all around, whether it's in the field, on the mound. Haven't given the hitters a chance yet. I mean, threatened in the first. Now we see another walk. That's seven. And you have to start thinking, when is head coach Miles Taylor going to take games out? This game already slipping away real quick, 6-0.
And it's hard to be completely perfect on a game, have no errors. You're always going to give up walks, but like you said, as many walks is not really acceptable. And an error and a pass ball has allowed 3 runs to score. So it could very well be a 3-0 game right now, but after those miscues in the field, 6-0. And doesn't look like the Blazers will be slowing down anytime soon. But it does look like games will be coming out. So we'll be right back here after this break, after the pitch change. Welcome back here to Union Field for ACBL baseball between the South Jersey Kings and the Quakertown Blazers. The Rural Finance Group is a major sponsor of ACBL baseball. Located in Princeton, the Rural Finance Group is the office of Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Call 609-951-8700 and set up a meeting with a representative today. And after Gaines was struggling to find the zone, pretty much these whole 3 innings, he was pulled after 7 walks, allowing 6 runs, and these 2 runs on base belong to him, so that number could very well go up.
And Jason, we were talking off the air. This is probably the sloppiest game we've seen from the Kings all season long. I mean, you give up an error that scores 2 runs, 7 walks from a pitcher who has had a nice season so far. This is what the Blazers do to you. They make your pitchers work and they capitalize on the mistakes.
Coming in is Chase Cooper as a pop out to third base, and after that pop out, the Kings get out of his hand, but not before many runs are putting up, making the score 6-0. We'll be right back here for the bottom of the third as the Kings would try to answer. Welcome back here to West Deptford for the ACBL action between the Quakertown Blazers and South Jersey Kings. And going into the bottom of the third inning, the Blazers lead the Kings 6-0 after 3 runs were scored in that top of the third. Our game today is brought to you by Northfield Bank, a full-service community bank with 38 branches serving Metro New York and New Jersey. Northfield Bank strives each day to uphold its mission to be the financial institution of choice to individuals and businesses by delivering innovative financial products and exceptional customer service. For more information, visit your local branch or call 833-301-NFBK. It's in the bat now for the Kings. 9-hole hitter Ryan Taylor. And still into the mound is Ben Christian. It's not allowed to run yet in his 2 innings of work. Only 1 hit. His count is now 3-0. Taylor. You can hit 300. Passes down. Interesting. 3-1. I impression going here and latest to team only 20 back on season last year. Very back in the shot. He grounded out the middle. Davis and the big play on the Herson. That's a 40 ground out for Taylor. 1 out here. The Kings are really can't going back to this one. Going back right back. Thought the top of the order is also have to something happen. Yeah, not on the team. Over 300 average. Have to wake up at some point. I think that's fine. And that's never really go in. Ethan, he's here today or 2 runs. 3 innings of played for the plays. I'm not allowed to. Jared Crossy, Christian, Crossy live in the third inning. He just he probably will make plays and was on the field above. There's 6 straight power batters. Jared Crossy gets more than he did. And so here's the thing, Jason, it's exactly what you have to do. Hopefully good things will happen. But you can turn it into the picture, but you're unable to make it happen in play. And now we're running on the king. That now, Chris Baker, the right fielder for the Kings, as he takes that pitch for a strike, making it 0-1 count now.
You don't see this Blazers team in the field make many errors. The best defensive team for fielding percentage wise in the entire Wolf division.
When you keep listing off all these statistical categories that they lead in, and virtually, you give a glance, looks like they lead in pretty much every category on hitting, pitching, and fielding.
It's easy to see why they're 24-5, including 13-2 on the road.
She gets set for the 1-1 pitch. Baker lines that down the first base line. That's going to be fair as Pagrossi's going to round second. And it actually is called foul. Looks like home plate umpire may have ruled that one foul. So the umpire from second making the count 1-2, and that for sure looked like Grossi was going to be able to score there, and Baker get to at least second, but Grossi goes back to first, and Baker returns to the plate for the 1-2 count.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the Kings, and Kings bench dugout did not really protest, so I would think that's probably the right call with them right in front of that first base side, but Blazers catching a break that really could have put the Kings given them some sort of momentum in a game where they've had none.
1-2 pitch from Christian. Left plate count's now 2-2, and yeah, from this angle that we have, it was very hard to see if that was fair or foul. If we were up in the booth, probably would have had a better angle, but as you said, from the South Jersey's reaction on the bench, didn't look like it was actually fair. Pitch from Baker. He lines that back to pitch to Christian. He looks over to second. Not going to make the throw as he tosses to Hertzler for the second out here. Runner on second now as Bogrovsky advances. 2 outs. And the bat now, 3-hole hitter Luke Lesh, a rising senior at Ryder. Christian looks back to Bogrovsky, and here's a pitch. Off-speed pitch that misses the front door. Count is now 1-0. Coach Miles Taylor turning for Bogrovsky to get a bigger lead. Trying to make sure he gets home on a hit to the outfield. Bogrovsky's off. Fouled off by Lesh, though.
And Lesh having a nice year at the plate, 929 OPS. He's one of those guys you could see hit one right up the middle, score the speedy Bogrovsky, try to chip their way back into this one.
This count is now 1-1 to Lesh after that foul ball. See if Bogrovsky will take off again. Pitch from Christian. Another off-speed pitch that tries to catch the French door, but it doesn't. Count is now 2-1.
And I like King's idea of stealing, but right now with 2 outs, I would be cautious if I was Bogrovsky, especially with what Lesh can do at the plate.
Ball's in the dirt. Count is now 3-1. Yeah, going back to that, you're down 6 runs. It's not like Bogrovsky's going to be the tying run or leading run, so don't want to get any unnecessary outs when you're down by 6 and trying to slowly crawl your way back into this game. Pitch passes the catcher. Bogrovsky's going to move up to third, and Lesh is going to take first base on the walk.
This is looking more like the Kings offense that we know, and I'm not worried about the offense, it's more the pitching. And we'll get into Cooper's stats in top half of the inning, but this offense will definitely produce. The question is, are they going to be able to put at least 6 runs on the board against an excellent Blazers pitching staff? That's going to be extremely tough to do.
In the bat now, first baseman Dave Oliva. That ball misses zone for a 1-0 count now.
But again, the Blazers pitching can be vulnerable. They played the 8-win Pilots, and the Pilots scored 6 runs. The Blazers last game before the All-Star break.
Christian's really trying to work those off-speed pitches. That one was close to off the zone, so really looking to get the hitter's timing off as it'll be a mound visit.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we didn't even mention, Jason. This team hasn't played since the All-Star break, so they've had a few games of rest. Meanwhile, the Gens and Kings played in a marathon game, almost 6 hours combined in a doubleheader on Thursday. So the Blazers are well rested.
Coach Jeff Evans heads back to the mound after the visit with Christian. And Lever will step into the box for the 2-0 count. Great opportunity for the Kings to fight back here and chip away at this lead. Misses again. Actually catches it as his own. Late call there from umpire. Count is now 2-1. Pitch from Christian as Lesh is off. Lever fouls it off. And we've been seeing that a lot from Lesh recently, trying to steal bases. Looking at Point Street, though, doesn't have that many recorded, as a few of them were spaces were on a missed throw down by catcher or a wild pitch. So he was off before them a lot of the time. So definitely being a little swift on the base pass, not what you see from a guy this size usually.
You know, leave it. He's been hot recently. Coming into last game, he was 8 for 9. Last game he played on July 12th, he had hit in 8 of his last 9 games.
Eva lines that the shallow left field. That's going to drop as Kraus is going to come around and score, and Lucia's going to hold up a second. And that's going to be an RBI single for David Leva. And that's the first run of the game for the Kings.
You got to start somewhere. Nice piece of hitting by Oliva. We just mentioned he's been hot. Places one down the right field line. Excuse me, the left field line.
Now only a 5-run deficit from the Kings.
Only. That's feels like 10 when it's the Blazers.
Yeah, definitely with this pitching staff, he is a little more. Just foul. Bat now, Anthony Swenda, second baseman. He struck out in his first at bat. First inning.
And behind Shepard, this is arguably the team's best hitter. This is the guy you want at the plate, maybe all-star team.
And that all-star selection is well deserved with a 345 average that he has. Christian throws off to be pitched at Cass's zone. Now 0-2. He's one pitch away from getting out of this with very minimal damage.
He's got a lot of pop too, 4 home runs.
Pitch from Christian. That's line hard to the center fielder, and he's going to make the play for the third out. Saber makes the grab. Very hard hit ball there from Swenda, but it's not enough power to get over the fence. And after that third out, score is 6-1 as 1 run scored on the single from David Oliva. We'll be right back here for the top of the fourth inning. Welcome back here to the Quakertown Blazers versus the South Jersey Kings as the Blazers lead 6-1 in this game. Both ACBL baseball is brought to you by Wildflowers Inn, with its great upscale menu. Wildflowers Inn on the Pennington Circle at 2572 Pennington Road also has a 20% discount for players in uniform. Upscale dining and a great atmosphere pregame, postgame, anytime. Check out Wildflowers Inn.
Finally, we put a 0 on the board. Now they put their score.
Hmm. What was the ad that has to be read for both games now? That was originally just for Gens.
Oh,
Do you remember?
was there one?
He texted it somewhere. Maybe it was a Kings ad that had to be the Anzac ad that had to be read for both. I don't remember though.
I think he said just like uh, I think he might have said for one of them, uh, like just read it. I don't know. I don't really remember. Like maybe just read it more. I forget. Because we're reading all of them.
Yeah.
Like the only one we're reading for the Kings games we're doing. I mean for the Gens games we're doing all of them except for one of them. I don't know. I don't think it's a huge deal for Brian.
Very innocent.
Oh, you're like people.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Union Field. The Quakertown Blazers lead 6-1 South Jersey Kings. ACBL Baseball is brought to you by Team Toyota. Team Toyota of Langhorne and Princeton have kept us on the road for decades with impeccable sales and customer service. Call 609-745-6394 in Princeton or 215-791-8831 in Langhorne for more. Just Team Toyota, be a part of the team. In the bat now for the Kings here in the bottom of the first. Number 32, Tyler Declusion. Takes ball. Count is now 1-1.
Conclusion was joking before the game in the dugout said, I'm expecting a call from either the Royals or the Orioles. With a swing like that, who knows? Maybe in a couple of years. Unfortunately, that was an out, but he was joking. He said, I might get drafted in the middle of this game. The MLB draft starts in less than 10 minutes, Jason.
And I don't know how many players will be drafted here tonight, but if one were to be
No,
drafted, it would be pretty exciting coming mid-game.
I could tell you that, but that would not happen. They would not be here if they were supposed to be drafted. Talking about the MLB draft, make sure to
Conklin lines that to right back Saber in center field. It's 2 outs in a row made by Saber.
well, that helps the pitch count of Christian. But speaking about the MLB draft, though, make sure to head over to our website, NJ College Baseball Nation, and read my recent feature story on Cam Leiter. Got to sit down with him a few weeks ago. The nephew of Al Leiter. He has two uncles, two cousins in the major leagues. His dad played pro ball. Make sure to go check that article out on our website.
In bat now, John DiMucci takes the first pitch. Now it's now 1-0. Misses. Now 2-0.
No, no, they were good about it. They were more responsive than I've ever been. That's what they need something from me. Now I just
Catcher steps in the box. Off speed misses. Count is now 3-0.
have Malachi Duca behind us starting to stretch in the bullpen, so he may be in relief for Christian in the next couple of innings.
Pitch. That's a 4-pitch walk from Ben Christian. It's third on the day. As the Kings will try to get a 2-out rally going. As Ryan Taylor steps to the plate. Pitch from Christian. Catches it inside of his zone. Count is now 0-1.
Taylor's close with a starting third baseman and all-star Jarrett Pokrovsky. They've known each other since 8th grade. They trained together during COVID, and just by happenstance, both committed to Penn. They're probably freshmen there.
Yeah, good for them. They're going to be the same same dugout in college, and Great job to build that chemistry early and find friendly face in the dugout before you even get the pen. As Takujian is off, he's in there safe as the throw is a miss. And who's going to stay? Second. I'm sorry, Demucci stays at second.
Nice to see the catcher showing his wheels. Third stolen base.
So that puts a runner in scoring position here, 2 outs, and the count is now 1-1. Taylor. She looks back. Lucci, the pitch, off speed as very low. Count is now 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Catches the upper inside edge of the zone. Count now at 2-2 with 2 outs. And a run on second. Pitch from Christian. Off speed pitch that misses. Count is now 3-2. Taylor will look to keep this live in this fourth inning. Pitch from out of zone. He will advance to first on the walk. Great job working that count, making Christian throw a lot of pitches. Eventually getting a walk to bring us back to the top of the order. Jared Pokrovsky steps in the bat. Already has a single on deck.
And the Kings have had at least 2 runners on in 3 of the 4 innings. Only 1 run to show for it.
Yeah, they got to do a better job at converting if they want to get back in this game and build some momentum for the second game. Pokrovsky lines that foul past the third base bag. Hard hit ball there, make it count 0-1. Runners off first and second here with 2 outs. 6-1 game. It's the Blazers lead. Christian looks back to Mushi at second. Pitch. Catches the upper edge of the zone. Crosby looked a little fool there as he ducked a little from that pitch. Cows now 0-2. Christian looks for a strikeout here. And he does exactly that. It's like gets them out of the inning. Christian's 5th strikeout of the day. And gets out of the bottom of the 4th with no damage. We'll be right back here for the top of the 5th here at Union Field. Welcome back here to Union Field as the Quakertown Blazers lead the South Jersey Kings 6-1. Anzac Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is a proud sponsor of Kings baseball. Located on Market Street in Gloucester City, Anzac Plumbing has been a trusted name in the industry for 90 years. Call Anzac Plumbing for all your plumbing and heating and cooling needs at 856-475-6832. Last inning, Kings were able to, sorry, in the third inning, Kings were able to get the lead down to 5 runs, but then were shut out by Christian in the bottom of the fourth. And here, on top of the fifth right now, Lucas Foy will step into bat for the Blazers. Their 3-run inning by Gaines. Cooper was able to come in and finish out that third, top of the third, and was out, only faced 4 batters in the top of the fourth. The first pitch to the ball count is now 1-0. Pitch upstairs, count is now 2-0. We had a pretty solid sophomore year with a 320 average and 122 at bats. That ball catches the top of the zone, count is now 2-1. But slightly regressed year in the ACBL with a 259 average.
Might be one more though. Okay. Sounds
So
good.
he hits that high foul territory, just on the line actually, and Pagrassi's able to make the play for the first out. And that now left fielder RJ Huth, rising junior at Chestnut Hill.
It's nice to see the Kings pitchers Cooper settle down. He's been effective so far in his outing. Just Gaines with the 7 walks and the error that have led to the 6 runs.
And Cooper doing a great job continuing a pretty good season where he came in today with a 2.40 ERA, 15 innings pitch. Only 1 walk, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast of the season coming today. Count is now 2-1 after that missed pitch to Huth.
I asked a few of the Blazers players what the secret to their 10-game win streak was. Well, they tried to keep the secret. They wouldn't really give me any sort of answer besides just joking around. So maybe they know something that we don't that's led to this 10-game win streak.
So RJ Huth takes a big swing and miss there. Counts out 2-2. Fouls that off to Mucci. Get it 2-2. And it's really hard to point to one thing that has allowed this team to perform so well this season and in the past 10 games, as you mentioned. They're a very well-rounded team. The ball misses count now 3-2. Not only that, they're pretty older compared to the other teams in the league. Has a lot of juniors and seniors on this roster compared to most teams in ACBL who freshman and sophomore for the most part. Conklin makes the run and throw for the second out of the inning. Nice play from him there.
And especially Kings pitching staff, you see game 2 putting 2 rising freshmen on the mound. It was originally supposed to be 3.
Yeah, just having that more experience against college pitchers and pitchers having more college experience against batters gives a little bit of advantage, I believe. As that ball misses in the dirt as Noel steps in the bat. Well, with 2 walks on a day. As before that, at bat, the bottoms for the bat from Huth. Noel hits that high to Prograssi and makes his second pop out of the inning. The same. The coming into that bat by Huth, the bottom 3 hitters have walked in their 6 appearances. But we'll be right back here after no runs came across and no hits were allowed in that top of the 5th. We're right back here on NJ College Baseball Nation. Welcome back here to ACBL Baseball on NJ College Baseball Nation. We're here in Canada. We're talking about the Kings. One. Over and then the crowd talks for King Baseball. Stop it is sort of smooth here. Over and then I'm not the guy on Tom. I think I go on. I really reason as head coach on the course fifth inning of work here. And after starting the game, he has pitched at least 5 innings. He's able to get out of this inning. That'll continue his streak of long outings. Count is now 1-1 as Chris Baker is into the plate now.
And that's something that I love about Jeff Evans' squad. You see a lot of these guys go deep into games. You see, obviously the star Valenti, he's had 3 shutouts on the season. Uh, Meanwhile, on the other end, the Kings, I mean, they had a no-hitter in game one of the doubleheader on Thursday, and that was a combined one. We have not seen, I don't think any Kings go over 5 innings, but the Quakertown Blazers do quite the opposite. Their guys are rolling, they keep them in. See that with Valenti, obviously with Christian as well, and it's led to a lot of success for them.
Baker's now at 1-2 after that foul ball. Pitch. He hits that up to Davis. He's going to make the play over to Hurts at first for the first out. The bat now, 3-hole hitter Luke Lush, who has 2 walks on the day. Did not come around to score, though. Lush has continued his hot college season at Ryder. Ball missing dirt. Ryder's hitting a 275 and 211 at bats, and here he's been even better in ACBL with a 321 average, 56 at bats. Pitch. Big swing miss there on the ball, low. Count now 1-1. That average has been increasing game by game with him hitting safety in 8 of his last 9 games. Pitch. Upside. Not in his zone though. Count is now 2-1.
And Luke has a knack for reaching first base, namely the walk.
So it's hit high out of play. Count is now 2-2.
South Jersey starting to run out of outs here, only 5 left. Excuse me, 8 left. They're really going to have to start making a push. And it all starts with would be a big walk or a single just a way for Lesh to find a way to get on base in order to chip away from the 6-1 deficit.
Now it's now 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch from Christian. Swing was there, dropped.
I believe he
But catch and
fouled
no.
that off.
It's on that foul tip. Lesh stays alive. That ball catches his own. Duke Lesh didn't think it did. He was ready to go down at first, but that's going to be a strikeout looking. There's now 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th. Bat now 4-hole hitter David Oliva, who has brought in the only run on the first game for the Kings with that RBI single in the bottom of the 3rd. David Oliva having a hit in 10 of his last 13 games. It's off-speed misses. The inside edge of the zone counts now 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Oliva grounds at the Hertzler. Bad hop there as Hertzler is unable to make the play. And not sure how that'll be scored. Looks like
Well,
a
I'm the
hit.
official scorer for this game. I'm gonna roll out the single. That's a tough play. That's what we call a Union Field hop.
Yeah, for
Got his
sure.
body in front of it as you're taught, but the ball just skipped right over his left shoulder.
It looks like the scorekeeper or the scoreboard keeper agrees with you as he ruled that a hit. So running out first, the infield single. Leave it.
The scoreboard keeper is usually a bit partial, as there's always a Kings player running that from the dugout. You'll often see a Kings player, not often, but sometimes see a Kings player make what appears to be an error, but they call it a hit.
Swing in the bat now. That first pitch he misses zone. So that's now 1-0. You know, a little favoritism sometimes you see. There's some questionable scores up there on the board sometimes.
Luckily, those are not the official scores, just for themselves. That was a big strikeout looking by Lesh. If he had been able to get on, followed by a Levis base hit, they could have Kings could have started to get something going here, 2 on, 1 out, but instead just 1 on with 2 outs. But one of the hottest hitters on this team, Anthony Swenda.
Says hit directly Petrich first as he makes a little hop there to make the 3rd out of the inning. After the one single on that awkward hop, there's no run scored, and I'll be handing the play-by-play duties off to my partner Aaron as we come back here for the top of 6.
We welcome you back into ACBL action between the Kings and the Blazers. The Kings trailing 6-1 after the Blazers put on 6 over the first 3 innings. The Kings scored 1 in the bottom half of the 3rd. This top half of the 6th inning, It's brought to you by Northfield Bank, a full-service community bank with 38 branches serving Metro New York and New Jersey. Northfield Bank strives each day to uphold its mission to be the financial institution of choice to individuals and businesses by delivering innovative financial products and exceptional customer service. For more information, visit your local branch or call 833-301-NFBK. First pitch is popped up to the pitcher, Chase Cooper. So one quick out here in the top of the sixth inning. Zestawicki pops out. At the top of the lineup for the Blazers, Jeff Sabater. He's reached once today on a walk. Pitch off speed for strike one. Sabater 1 for 3, or excuse me, 0 for 2 with that walk in the second inning. That one is placed into the glove of Cooper, ranging out to his right in shallow right field, makes the catch. Excuse me, left field. Jason, I get so confused from this angle. I keep thinking it's right field. For out number one. A nice play by Cooper. We've seen him make a number of nice plays in the field today.
A little confusing being at this angle as we're normally looking directly into the outfield, making it easier to read what side is which.
So now Riley Davis stands in at the plate. He singled in his last at bat. 1 for 3 on the day. Davis having a nice season overall. It's a 10-game on base streak now with that single. The pitch. And there for strike one. Cooper working quickly.
Well, coming today, Davis in 6 of his last 7 and walked in 8 of his last 9, so finding any way he can to get on base.
2-1 up high and outside. The count now 3-1. Cooper, the left-handed pitcher from Rutgers Camden, had a few nice outings this year, 2 scoreless outings of 4 innings. And the pitch, line down the first base line, but foul out of the reach of first baseman Oliva, and the count 3-2. Petrich is on deck. Davis is able to get on.
A great job by Davis here, working Cooper after 2 quick outs are made, trying to run up his pitch count a little.
And a 3-2 from Cooper. Fly ball into right. Under it is Baker, makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Chris Baker. He's retired, or excuse me, for Chase Cooper. He's retired 7 in a row and 8 of the last 9. And we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Kings offense with some work to do. Down 6-1. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation. New pitcher on the mound, Malachi Duca. And this pitching change is brought to you by the Rule Financial Group. Rule Financial Group is a major sponsor of ACBL baseball. Located in Princeton, the Rule Financial Group is an office of the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Call 609-951-8700 and set up a meeting with the representative today. Malachi Duca, the new pitcher, the rising sophomore from rising this the rising sophomore from Lebanon Valley College. He's the team captain in high school back in 2021 and on the season with a 7.10 ERA in 5 appearances. He also has a save, last pitched on July 5th up in Bergen against the Metros, went 2 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 hits, and 2 walks, along with 5 strikeouts.
Man, great start from Ben Christian going those 5 innings, just allowing the 1 run and going with that 6 strikeouts. So great outing here from him, adding to his already great season.
Duca, bit of a two-sport star. He was the offensive MVP for football in high school. I don't want to botch this name, but I'm going to try Upper Perkiomen High School. Try to look up the pronunciations beforehand of the towns the guys are from, but this high school I did not look up. He's from Greenling, Pennsylvania. So Duca in for Christian here in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading off for the Kings, Tyler Declusion, the left fielder 0 for 2 today. Pueblo, Colorado, joined the team a couple of weeks ago. Plays his college ball out of California. And the 1-0, fouled back, the count even at 1.
And Conclusion look to continue a pretty decent season so far since joining the team, trying to get a hit here to keep the average around that 275 mark.
Pitch fouled away, and the count 1-2. Jason, what do the Kings have to do here to spark some sort of rally?
They just gotta really work these counts, not giving a whole lot of pitches that are off the plate, don't swing at them too much. And Malachi Duke does have somewhat of a habit of walking batters, 9 walks in 6.1 innings this season. So definitely need to be patient in this count and don't give Duca anything that he doesn't give you.
And the 2-2 from Duca. Popped up foul, first base side, and the count remains 2-2. Conklin on deck, DiMucci in the hole. Conklin also 0 for 2 on the night. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Blazers, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error for the Kings, and that error from catcher DiMucci allowed 2 runs to score back in the 3rd. The pitch, high and outside, and the count moves to 3-2. Kings offense has shown signs of life in this one, but only scraped across 1 run through the 5 innings. Pitch just popped up, giving chase to third baseman Petrich. That one falls out of play, and the now vacant bleachers, and the count remains full. This is a big at bat for Duca, trying to begin his appearance on the right note. Again, he struggled a little bit. He struggled this year, over 7 ERA. He's put in a big spot, trying to hold a 6-1 lead against the Red Hot Kings. And the 3-2 popped up again, giving chases Petrich. Runs out of the room. So a nice battle here between Duca and Declusion.
Yeah, like I said, this is what the Kings have to do: work these counts, foul off anything close, and leave it. It's too far off the plate. So great job staying alive here. And anytime you get into these long counts, hitters typically get more advantage as they see more pitches and see pitchers' arm action.
And the right-hander deals inside, and Declusion works a walk to begin the bottom half of the 6th.
Just a really great all-around at bat there for the Conclusion, as I mentioned.
Carter Heller now warming in the pen for Quakertown. He's a native of Quakertown, goes to Gardner Webb. So Duca gives up the leadoff walk, and that brings up the shortstop Conklin, who we've seen make a few nice plays in the field today. Foul one back, and the count 0-1. And Conklin, an integral part of founding of this Kings team, the Kings in their inaugural season. He talked with GM Mike Olshan after winning the MVP of the Wolf Division last year, also won the championship MVP. Wanted to have create a team closer to South Jersey. He's from Mullica Hill, down here, South Jersey. Swung on and missed in the count 0-2. He helped design the uniforms with one of his dad's friends who works with graphic design. He helped design the logo. And here he is on the Kings this year, coming off a 12-game win streak. They won 15 of their last 18 games. And the pitch swung on and missed. And a quick strikeout from the right-hander Duca. One down here in the bottom of the sixth. Catcher DiMucci now at the plate.
And DiMucci having a walk on a day and a pop out to the third baseman. Also going with a stolen base.
And the pitch up high, going as the runner to Clusian. He slides in safely ahead of the throw from the catcher Knoll, and now runner in scoring position for the Kings, their second stolen base of the night. Excuse me, the third stolen base of the night.
Well, unorthodox team stealing with such a big lead ahead of them, but if they're able to do it, might as well take the extra base.
Saw DiMucci had a huge 3-run homer a couple of Sundays ago for another big hit here. And the 1-0. Inside the count 2-0. Ryan Taylor on deck. He walked in his last at bat, the fourth inning. In the hole for Krobsky. Duca sets. And the 2-0. Up high. Outside the count 3-0. Now the Kings one pitch away from putting runners on first and second. Ryan Taylor on deck. Duca at the belt and the 3-0. Low and inside, and a 4-pitch walk worked by DiMucci, his second of the night. So first and second now for the Kings, brings up the center fielder Taylor.
Yeah, great at bats today by DiMucci in his first game so far. Just working counts and being patient there, and actually getting 2 walks now.
Now meeting at the mound. Tyler Infield comes in. A cloudy one here at Union Field. Usually nice and sunny. Luckily, the rain has held off for now. Earlier in the day, forecasted for rain around 6 o'clock. As of now, it's supposed to hold off. Is that right, weatherman Jason?
I'm not sure. From what I heard, according to the Apple Weather app, it did seem like the forecast cleared up a little. Still going to remain cloudy, but no chance of thunderstorms anymore, allegedly.
And give you a scoreboard update of a few of the teams, few of the other games going on around the ACBL today. The Gens swept a doubleheader from the Matrix over at Moody Park. The Pilots in a doubleheader at home against the Ospreys. Sandhogs over in the Kaiser Division taking on the Valor in a 10 a.m. doubleheader. The Whitecaps and the Collegians start their game at 8 o'clock. Now the pitch showing bunt is Taylor pulls back. First pitch in there for strike one. And also rounding out our scoreboard, the Crush taking on the Hitters Club Hawkeyes. That first game will start shortly as well. Duca sets. And the 0-1. High strike. The count now 0-2. King's dugout doesn't like it. So Taylor falls behind quickly 0-2.
Yeah, a lot of noise coming out of the dugout after that pitch. It's close, but it did look a little bit up in that zone, but counts now 0-2.
Two at the belt. Both runners take their lead. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. A big strikeout for the right-hander Duca. His second of the inning. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, very tough at bat there for Taylor when it's a very close call up in that ball up in the zone. Sometimes you feel like the umpire might be taking the bat out of your hands, but you have to swing at those close pitches sometimes.
The All-Star Pokrovsky. But Quakertown had 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, a run, and an RBI single in the All-Star game. Wolf Division defeating the Kaiser Division 14-3. A big spot here for the rising freshman at Penn. First pitch inside, the count 1-0. Reached on an error, came around to score in the 3rd inning.
And Bukowski has been really one of the bigger hitters in this hot streak that the Kings have been on, having 9 RBIs in his last 5 games.
Big lead for Declusion. He's on the way. Over the 3rd, the pitch inside, the throw down the 3rd. Gets away from Petrich. Now, Declusion breaks for home. He will score. Heading over the 2nd is DiMucci. And Declusion, the left fielder, using his legs to create a run. It is now 6-2 on the E2.
That's just it might just be what the Kings need to get back into this game. The lucky play that goes their way and could slowly build off of that play to get some momentum.
The DiMucci over at 2nd. Krovsky still stands in. 1-1 count. And the pitch fouled back. Count now 1-2. Blazers scored 2 in the 1st thanks to a Kovalchik 2-run shot. 1 in the 2nd thanks to 4 straight walks from the starter Andrew Gaines. And then 3 in the 3rd. Petrich solo shot and then 2-run scoring on the DiMucci error. Kings scored 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. And the pitch, called strike 3. As Pokrovsky walks back to the dugout, strikes out on 4 pitches, and we head to the top half of the 7th. The Blazers give 1 run up, but hold a 6-2 lead. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation. Just ACBL Baseball is brought to you by Wildflowers Inn. With its great upscale menu, Wildflowers Inn on the Pennington Circle at 2572 Pennington Road. Also a 20% discount if a player is in uniform. upscale dining and a great atmosphere, pre-game, post-game, anytime. Check out Wildflowers Inn in Pennington. So we begin this top half of the seventh inning. Chase Cooper, left-hander, back on the hill. The Kings threatened. They scored once thanks to Kyle DeClusion's stole a third, and then on the E2 was able to come around and score. But Bobrovsky striking out looking with a man on second. Stops the scoring there for the Kings. 6-2 top of the seventh. Leading things off is the All-Star Petrich. 2 for 3 on the day, a single and a solo shot to center.
Yeah, a really good day out of the pen from Cooper, picking up the slack from Gaines, and no runs allowed from Cooper. So it's a tough situation you're coming into, coming down 5. But it's done a great job with what he was dealt.
A 1-1 count. Cooper at the lettering, and the 1-1. What went outside to count 2-1. Going back to Petrich, I asked him before the game, what is your secret to your success? And he just said one word, caffeine. So he grounds one over to the shortstop, Conklin. Fields throws off the line, but Oliva makes the tag for out number 1.
Great heads up play there from Oliva, realizing he was getting pulled off the bag and just reaching backwards to make the out.
1 down here in the top of the 7th. Kovalchik with a big 2-run shot in the first to open the scoring. And a single in the fourth. He's 2 for 3. Stands in at the plate. Pitch from Cooper. Down the middle for strike 1. 8 straight retired by the left-hander. The 0-1. Off speed inside to count 1-1. Now we've seen him induce a couple of pop-outs. 4 in his 4 innings of action. Count 2-1. Kings will have Baker, Lesh, and Oliva do up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. That one drops in for a single, and overrunning is the center fielder Taylor. Now breaking to second is Kovalchik, and he slides in safely.
Yeah, that's a play you really got to make there now for Brian Taylor. If he got there, possibly could have kept that as a single, but just by overrunning that ball, it definitely gave him no chance at keeping Kovalchuk at first.
Now, would you think about rolling out an E8 because he did just overrun the ball, or is that just a straight up double?
I'm not 100% sure. If I was scoring it, I think I would call it a double.
As the official scorer, I will do just that.
Yeah, I feel like it's normally error if he misses a grab or misses a throw. It's a bad fielding play. I feel like normally it's ruled a hit.
Cole Hertzler struck out 3 times today, and this time gets a single, putting an end to his misery. The usual hot-hitting Hertzler lines one into left, and runners on first and third now for the Blazers. Trying to add on.
Definitely seemed like we might have brought upon the broadcasters' jinx. They're saying Cooper retired 8 straight, is now allowed 2 hits in a row, doing a double.
Now, you should have seen me. I was talking about the no-hitter for the last 3 innings of the first game of the doubleheader, and the no-hitter still happened for the Kings. Kings no-hit the Gens game 1 of the doubleheader on Thursday, 10-0. I don't know about the announcer jumps, but Hertzler gets on, and now Floyd at the plate. Pitch outside, 2-0. Today. Five. Now, Yeah, we're already going to the top three seed in the division. We win the today, we push the top two seed. That was like, yeah, we're having thank you so this. So it's 7-2 later weight. And the third one. It should have been about yeah, right. Even though they're up four, it'd be more efficient. That's like it's very cool. Now, right now in Quebec, people on that are working here at field. Yeah, for that, excuse me, five that's like around the stadium. Look at them, yeah, the people like that, you can't be on the screen. Yeah, he's died and died now, yeah. Yeah, bigger, but we even do look forward after they have a lot of work to do. They want to take game one of this doubleheader down 7-2. Cooper's pitch, fly ball, the shallow right. Coming in is Baker makes the catch, route number 3. The Blazers score one on a Lucas Boyd sac fly. And we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Blazers up 7-2 over the Kings. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation. Here for the bottom half of the 7th inning, right fielder Chris Baker, who caught the final out of the top half of the 7th, stands in at the plate. The pitch swung on and missed. New pitcher on the mound for the Blazers. Exit Duca, enter Cole Hertzler, or excuse me, Carter Heller, Quakertown native, college of over at Gardner Webb. Now the pitch outside to count 1-1. Last appeared on July 10th at Trenton, went 1 inning, gave up a hit and a walk. Duca's final line, 1 inning, no hits, 1 run, none earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Now the pitch from Heller. In there for strike 2.
Yeah, despite that one run, a good inning from Duke having 2 strikeouts there and not giving up a lot of damage, like facing a little bit of adversity.
Pitch foul down the right field side. Count 1-2. Heller with a 4.50 ERA, 1 save in 6 appearances, 6 innings, 4 strikeouts. Baker singled in the first, since then is grounded to the pitcher and grounded over the second. Now works the count to 2-2. And now the 2-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. And the right-hander Heller begins his night on a high note. Strikeout number 1. We're out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that pitch was a little up and in a two-strike count. Definitely got a swing at that, but just a little too far up to Baker to make any contact on that. So a good pitch there from Heller.
Now Lesh stands in at the plate. Takes ball 1. This inning is brought to you by Team Toyota. Team Toyota of Langhorne and Princeton have kept us on the road for decades with impeccable sales and customer service. Call 609-745-6394 in Princeton or 215-791-8831 in Langhorne for more. Count now moves to 1-1. Game 2 set to start 30 minutes after Game 1. And the pitch from Heller, low and outside, the count 2-1. Swung on and missed, and now the count moves to 2-2. Heller at the belt and deals the 2-2. Ground ball past Heller over to the second baseman Davis. Oops, field. Field throws and out number 2. That brings up David Oliva, who's 2 for 3 with 2 singles today.
Great work by Heller so far with those 2 quick outs, just showing how deep this Blazers pitching staff is.
Carter Heller trying to finish things off here in Game 1 and extend the Blazers streak to 11 straight wins. He could move 1 away from the Wolf Division season high. The Kings with 12 straight wins. This was snapped on Thursday. And the pitch lined into center for a base hit. Oliva keeps the Kings alive here in Game 1. Single up the middle brings up Swenda. We're out for his 4th plate appearance of the night. 0 for 3 so far.
And 3 straight singles from David Oliva, including the first one bringing an RBI. So great hitting today from his first game right here, and feeling a pretty good season he's gotten off to.
Heller at the belt throws back to first. Diving back easily, safely as Oliva. The big story here in Game 1, the Blazers scored 6 of their 7 runs through the first 3 innings. Andrew Gaines just could not find the plate as the pitch is outside the count 1-0. Called a strike and 0-1. Gave up 7 walks and only 2 2.2 innings. 4 of his 6 runs were earned. 1 in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher Noel. And the Kings couldn't get it done at the plate. They scored the first run already down 6-0. They've made a habit this season scoring early on and setting the tone for their offense. Or held scoreless through the first 2 innings. The pitch fouled back and the count 1-2. In Game 2, we'll see Patrick Haney on the hill, along with A new face for the Kings. And now the 1-2 gives past the glove of Nolan, moving over the second in Reliva on the pass ball. Call it that. I think it's so hard to tell from this angle with the third base
it
coach.
looked a little short of the plate.
Okay,
So
I'll call
probably
it a
a
wild
wild
pitch.
pitch.
And now the 2-2 on the way, low and outside, and the count 3-2. And the 3-2 from Heller. Outside, ball 4. And runners on first and second now for the Kings. Bring up the conclusion.
Kings not going down without a fight. Despite being down by 5, they're not going to make this incredibly easy on Hiller. Still a lot of room for him to work, but still, Kings not giving up right away.
Have a pitch to the conclusion in there for strike 1. He scored a run in the 6th. He stole second, stole third, and then scored on the E2.
Despite not having to hit today, one hit right here would be big for the collision.
0-1. Now count moves to 0-2. Blazers trying to finish off game 1 of the doubleheader. Pitch, ground ball to the third baseman, Petrich. He fields, throws in time to get to conclusion, and the Blazers take game 1. 11 straight for Quakertown. They keep on rolling. The Kings offense just couldn't get on the roll themselves. They gave up the pitching gave up 6 runs in the first 3 innings. Blazers added 1 more in the top of the 7th, and Kings fall 7-2 in game 1. Jason, final thoughts.
Yeah, rough outing for Manchu games, but you can almost never put a loss on one player. And now he did have a rough outing, as you mentioned, those first 3 innings, getting up 6 runs, but the Kings bats not show up in this first game. And a lot of times when the bats are going, it gives your pitcher a little confidence and gives them a chance to pitch better. So kind of an overall not a great effort from the Kings, but they'll look to bounce back here and split the series in the second game.
And we'll be back in about 30 minutes for game 2 between the Blazers and Kings. But for now, the Kings fall to 18-14, and the Blazers improve their first place record to 25-5 as they clinch a top 2 spot in the Wolf division and a first round bye for the playoffs. For Aaron Arnstein, or for Jason O'Connell, and myself, Aaron Arnstein, we thank you for watching this broadcast of ACBL action by NJ College Baseball Nation. The Kings fall in game 1, 7-2 to the Blazers. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for game 2.